The main elements to focus on when appraising a quantitative research study. A good way to start the appraisal is by establishing whether the study is peer-reviewed and publicly accessible. Next, it could be helpful to understand, at least in broad terms, the review process for presenting and publishing a study. The more reputable the scientific journal, the more vigorous the selection process. The reputation and professional affiliations of the authors are important if you're looking for the opinion of established authorities in the field. Finally, the source of funding and sponsorships are relevant, especially if the studies are sponsored by pharmaceutical or other corporations. Any conflicts of interest are worth noticing, which may range from the sponsoring organization to personal and professional agendas of the researchers, including their theoretical orientations, belief systems, and ideologies. The purpose of the appraisal is to establish whether the research is well designed and properly executed. Most common problems arise around technical aspects of the study, method sampling, replication, conflicts, carelessness, and interpretation errors. The following questions should be considered to critically appraise a quantitative research study. Is the identified study design applied appropriately to address the research questions? Examples of design are cohort study, case-controlled study, and controlled trial. Can the research questions be answered with the design and methods used in the study? Is there an indication of technical problems in the design, methods, or analysis of the data? Does the study sample adequately represent the part of the population from which it is drawn? Particular attention should be given to the diversity of the participants. The sampling method and sample sizes are relevant for this section. Sampling aims to ensure that the sample group is representative of the population to whom the research is intended to apply and is not distorted by the selection process. Usually, a larger sample size produces more meaningful results because of its greater statistical significance. In addition, the results of the study should be generalizable to other settings. Obtaining a carefully controlled sample must be balanced with the transferability of results. If the study uses a control group, its characteristics should be similar to those in cases or study cohort. The criteria used for including and excluding study participants should be clearly explained. What is the validity of the measurement tools identified in the study? Are they effective in measuring what they intend to measure? Are the measurement tools based on the existing literature on the subject? Are they effective in predicting the results? Are common sources of bias examined? Are study dropouts considered, including the reasons why they dropped out? To what extent are study results influenced by factors that negatively impact their credibility, such as contamination of the control group or confounding factors? Evidence of successful replication is also an important factor to consider. Did the authors identify the limitations of the design or sample and the steps taken to address this problem? Was missing data addressed? Are the conclusions adequately supported by the results? Are there indications that the researchers were careless or otherwise demonstrate poor scholarship in conducting or reporting the study? Now, some examples of how appraising quantitative research can benefit my practice as a marriage and family therapist. As a trainee therapist, I'm interested in research directly applicable to specific challenges my clients are experiencing. I feel responsible for using high-quality research in my recommendations. Many of my clients suffer from anxiety and depressive disorders, and I was excited to discover the study on kindness last week, as it could be potentially helpful in reducing social anxiety and improving social connections and the overall well-being of my clients, leading to a meaningful symptom reduction. I currently practice EFT predominantly and find myself sharing with my clients research findings on its effectiveness for reducing couples distress sustained over time to engender hope and increase motivation. For me, understanding how diversity is addressed in the sample selection is one of the most important elements of appraising research, because I work predominantly with low-income, culturally diverse clients with a significant proportion of LGBTQ plus couples and individuals. In addition, the generalizability and transferability of the results to the specific populations I work with are essential. Therefore, I pay particular attention to the sample's characteristics when appraising a quantitative study. In some cases, the variable of the socioeconomic location of the participants may significantly influence the result. And what questions do I still have about appraising quantitative research? I'm not a math person, and I would struggle to appraise the technical aspects of the method, especially if it involves a multi-level analysis, like in the last week of kindness study. Therefore, I would find it difficult to identify any technical errors in the method or the analysis.